I can't fucking wait for this game. Liverpool and Chelsea, both teams 2 wins out of 2 so far in the league, an almost identical start. Certain bit of buzz around both of them too, with Liverpool more or less fully replenished after last season's injury hell, and Chelsea European champions and recently being allowed to break FFP to blow 100 mil on a Man United reject.
What? Here, Lois, take a look.
Anyway, Lukaku is actually a good topic to start on because honestly, I'm baffled why all the pundits and journalists seem to be so focused on him, making out it's going to be some epic titanic battle between him and Van Dijk. Well, I say baffled, I'm not. I mean, he's obviously, the big, £100 million target man. Van Dijk, best defender in the world, both big, physical. It's the obvious thing that we're all thinking of, but the hype for me is more for marketing to hype the game up after the fee Chelsea paid for him, the absolute bullying he dished out against Arsenal. But when you take a step back and look at it logically, it's nothing but hot air and empty hype. Putting aside the fact that Liverpool, literally just made as many headlines ourselves last weekend for making it through the physical battle that Burnley gave us. Unlike Arsenal's wimps, we've got the best defender in the world in Van Dijk, and newsflash, he's already had experience playing against Lukaku when he was at Man United, so can anyone tell me whether he had any trouble with Lukaku in the past?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Exactly. Lukaku is a great big lump of a physical being, and yes, he did just bully Arsenal last weekend, but that's fucking Arsenal. As I said in my last video, we're not Arsenal, we're fucking Liverpool, and we've just proven in the very last game we will rise to the challenge of a physical battle, especially in front of our own fans. So this whole Lukaku versus Van Dijk bollocks is just that, bollocks. Now that doesn't mean Lukaku's not a threat and won't cause us problems. He brings ability as well as physical toughness, which makes him much more dangerous than anything Burnley threw at us last weekend. And it can't be ignored, he's high on confidence right now and doing well, so credit where credit is due. If we don't pay attention, he will punish us.
I'll take you home and just punish you.
But I think I speak for most Liverpool fans when I say, unless he has a bad game, Van Dijk should be able to deal with Lukaku. Yeah, he's great bullying Arsenal players, but I mean, who isn't at this point? Lukaku isn't who's worrying me in this game. It's who they'll have out wide if Tsimikas plays again that's got me concerned. Now, let me be clear, Tsimikas did okay in the last game. When he had space out wide, he gave an inch-perfect cross to set up the first goal, and in the second half, he more than held his own when those 3 Burnley players tried to bully him that time. He's proved he's got heart and can punish when you give him space, but that's easy to prove against a team like Burnley. But we're not playing Burnley this time. We're playing a serious team now. This is the real deal.
That's the end game.
I still think we're a better team than Chelsea, but you cannot ignore the fact that we're playing the European champions, who've just added a £100 million signing to their ranks, who's high on confidence after the last game. They're 2 for 2 in the league. They've yet to concede a goal. This is not the same Chelsea as last season. Chelsea and United have both improved this year and will be the biggest threat to us in City. This is our first real test of the season, and if Tsimikas plays, which I suspect he will, this is where he needs to prove he belongs at Liverpool. He's likely going to be going up against either Kai Havertz or Mason Mount, 2 of the best attacking talents this league has to offer. Now that is far more of a concern to me than Lukaku versus Van Dijk. Tsimikas needs to be up for this game or he will be exploited as a weak link.
Don't let me down. You don't want to let me down, do you, boy?
Like I said before though, this is going to be an amazing game because I think Chelsea have strengthened so much over the summer. They'll feel emboldened and confident following on from winning the Champions League last season, and again, adding a £100 million target man to the ranks will only make them feel more so. But all I think they've done is shorten the gap on us and City, not closed it, same as Man United. They've both improved, there's no denying it. Although United's 1-1 draw with Southampton threatens a shaky start for them, but this game is really going to show whether we're back to the full strength that we were at 2 years ago, or whether Chelsea really have closed the gap on us and reached the upper echelons with us and City.
Little boy at peace, what is this place? Beyond the stars, open up your eyes. What are these things you're moving toward? Head so full of wonder, worries in the past. Could it be that you are free at last? No!
But I genuinely think we're still the better team than Chelsea. Our centre-back should be able to cope with Lukaku. Trent should have no problem on his side. Tsimikas worries me, but as long as he keeps any mistakes or coming out second best in his duels to an absolute minimum, I think Van Dijk should be able to bail him out once or twice if he needs to. Midfield might be a problem for us because Chelsea adopted a 3-4-3, so we run the risk of being outnumbered, but I think in this game Klopp might consider dropping Jota for Bobby, who does play a bit deeper anyway, so he can occasionally drop back and help out. However, having said that, they might consider changing formations for this game because most teams struggle with a back 4 or 5 against our front 3. So having a back 3 face them seems like fucking suicide to me. I can't see Kurt Zouma handling Mane without help, for instance.
Looks like you're about to get pwned.
So what's my overall predictions for this game? Lining up, I'm going to go with Alisson in goal. Trent and Big Verge keep their places, but I'm going to have Konate have his first start for Liverpool in this game. And the simple reason for that is I think Van Dijk is going to have to be called upon it to occasionally bail out Tsimikas, who I think will be picked ahead of Robbo, who's reportedly fit again now. Because simply put, 90 minutes against Chelsea is a bit much for your first game back after an injury. I do think Robbo will make an appearance, by the way, just not start and play the majority. But with Tsimikas playing, Van Dijk's going to have to be dragged over and called upon occasionally, which means we need someone physical to stay on Lukaku. And Konate fits the bill ahead of Matip or Gomez for me. In midfield, I'm going to go for Henderson, Fabinho and Keita. I'm predicting this without knowing for certain whether Fabinho's actually okay to play, by the way. His dad passed away last week, which is why he didn't play against Burnley. I'm not sure how long players get off to grieve, but I imagine it can't be that long considering he wasn't allowed to go home to see his family given the COVID situation, so he might want to get back out there and play to help take his mind off the grief. Hendo and Keita, I think, will play ahead of Harvey Elliott, who's undoubtedly on a roll, but he's still just a kid. We can't carry inexperience in this game. I think we'll see him come on as a sub towards the end for the experience, but I can't see him starting, not in this game. And I explained before, I think Bobby will be picked instead of Jota to play deeper and help out in midfield if needed, but I think we can expect to see Jota come on later if we're chasing a goal, while Mo and Sadio are pretty much nailed on to keep their places in the team. So what's my predictions on the score? I think it's going to be a fairly even game, but we'll just edge it. But with both defensive records so far, I can't say with certainty it'll be a high scoring game. Watch it be like a fucking 4-3 classic now or something. I think we'll edge it either 1-0 or 2-1. The atmosphere is obviously going to be amazing, which should help give us the edge. But something I haven't covered earlier, which I think will help add to the intensity of this game, is Harry Kane announced he's staying at Spurs. Man City seemed nailed on to sign him, and adding him and Grealish to their already considerable firepower made them runaway favourites for the title. Now with Aguero gone, Kane not replacing him, and only about a week of the transfer market left, I think City are going to be very lucky to sign a 30-goal a season man now, and that honestly blasts the title race wide open, and I don't think that's going to be lost on our boys or Chelsea either. I mean, either of us lays down a marker by winning this game, and it sends a clear fucking message to the rest of the league that we're just as much favourites as City at this early stage, and that's going to make this game that extra bit more exciting than it already is with two powerhouse teams going head to head. I'd love to know what you guys think though. Do you think I'm waving away Lukaku too brazenly, or are you just as confident as I am? Van Dijk's already proved he can handle him. Also, do you think Robbo's going to be picked ahead of Tsimikas, which cancels out the main threat that I'm concerned about, which is Tsimikas having to deal with Havertz or Mount? And don't forget to say what you think the lineup and score will be as well. I do think this is going to be a great game, and I imagine everyone's going to have an opinion on it. Let me know below. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe if you'd like my take on all things Liverpool. I'm a new channel at this point, so any and all interactions are very much appreciated. If you're already subscribed, thank you again so much. I am enjoying reading people's comments, especially when I get called out for whinging about a 20-minute walk in my match vlog in the last video. I admit I'm just a lazy fuck. I just thought it would be a cool thing to put in the video though. But thanks again for all the positive comments. It does mean the world to me. And again, don't forget to comment below on what you think of the game if I've got anything wrong. I hope you all enjoy the bank holiday weekend coming up as well. Hopefully we can enjoy it with a big win against Chelsea and the European champions. Take care lads and lasses. I'll see you after the game. Ta-ra.